Good morning. When I was 17 years old, I got my first job at a church where it actually paid dollars. It was Bartow First Assembly of God, right outside of Lakeland, Florida, and I was the cleaner for what they called the Family Life Building. That was the same, basically, makeup of what we have in the Life Center. Pastor Mike Tedder said, I know you just came from Spain. I know you have a lot of cultural shock that you have to get through. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to pay you $80 a week to come to the church for 40 hours and clean. And I thought, this is amazing. What a privilege it would be to work. This is my ministry career. I'm going to be known as the cleaning guy for the Family Life Building at Bartow First Assembly of God. And I remember my first day, I had a 1986 BMW. I bought it for $1 from a missionary that was going overseas. It had everything was crank. The sunroof was crank, the windows were crank. So when you think BMW, it's not that kind of BMW. It was like the other kind. It was actually older than me. It was 1986. I'm a child of 87. And so I drove up there with this BMW with my sunroof open, excited to start this brand new job. And the first day, the lady that was in charge, she basically ran the church. Every church has a lady that runs a church that's not really, the pastor. And her name was Wanda. And Wanda hands me two things. She hands me a walkie-talkie, and she hands me a Ziploc bag full of keys. And she says, here are the two things you're going to need. Go and do whatever it is that you're going to do over there in the Family Life Building. A bag full of keys and a walkie-talkie were the first two tools that I was given to do ministry. And I remember hearing like the little sound, like the beep beep sound. She said, looks like there was somebody throwing up in the preschool room. Will you please go take care of that? And so I would take my bag of keys, and then I'd have to go and find which key was for which closet. This was like the first 2 months. It took me so long to figure out which key went to which room every single time. And ever since the beginning of my ministry career, I have been handed keys, and I've been working on realizing that the one who holds all the keys doesn't always have all of the influence. I was getting paid $2 an hour, and I had all the access, but I had zero influence. It's not the one with all the keys that actually has the greatest leadership potential. I would venture to say that it's actually the one with no key at all. And as the pastor of this church, as we have grown immensely, and we're going to look at the numbers later on this afternoon, what I cannot do as your pastor is to hoard the influence that God has given me and not deliver it across this room. Now, when we started the church, I did everything. Colin Jackson and I, we did everything. We would get up at 5 a.m. on Sunday mornings. We got the trailer hooked up. We unloaded everything out of the trailer. We put it on the sidewalk at Bockham Elementary. We took the empty trailer to a second storage unit because we had more stuff than we had trailer space. We went and got all that. We brought it back 2 trips, okay? 1 trailer, 2 trips. We unloaded everything. John Allen, who just played acoustic guitar for you, he would get up on this ladder and do the pipe and drape. This pipe and drape here, this is 8-foot pipe and drape. We were using 16-foot pipe and drape, so double the height. He would get on a ladder. He would hang all the pipe and drape. Everyone was doing everything. And over the past 6 years, what I've realized is the more keys I give away, the better the church is and the more it grows. The more keys I hang on to, the more access and control I have, but we have a lot less growth. Because what I've learned is you can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both. Okay, turn to your neighbor and say you can't have both. So I've spent the past 6 years, and by the way, this is one of my favorite things to do is to talk church. This is like literally, if preaching doesn't work out, I will talk leadership development all day long because it's one of my favorite things to do. So over the past 6 years, what I have done is I haven't handed the bag of keys off to one person because that's not effective. Because all I'm doing is putting all of the things that I have access to on one person. But what I've been working hard at is taking one key at a time and saying, you know what? You take the worship team. You take the worship team. And don't just lead the worship. Create an atmosphere where worship teams all across the city and state can be developed and people can enter into worship. So I'm not going to do the worship. You now have the key to worship. But I'm not giving you all the keys because the loudest jingle doesn't always have the most influence. It's not about who has all the keys. It's about who has the right key in the right hand. So what I've done with Dr. Michael is I said, you know what? I want you to take everybody that communicates on stage, and I want you to take that, and that's your key. I'm no longer it's not my key anymore. I don't have the keys to that. You got the keys. DJ Khalid says, I got the keys. The keys, the keys. It's a song. You probably don't listen to that devil music, which is good. I've taken the keys, and I said, you know what? When it comes to creating media content on Sunday mornings and capturing moments that happen in the service, I want you to take your camera. I want you to capture that content. Now, I don't have the keys to that. I'm not out there with my camera, with my phone, and capturing the moments that God is. That's your job, because I can't do that. But I used to have all the keys. I used to do everything. But now you got the key. But I'm not giving you all of them. I just want you to do that one good. Not only do I want you to create the content, I want you to start forming a team of people that can create content. Here's the key. This is the key for the Daughters of Destiny life group that you lead. If I were to lead that life group, there would be nobody in it. I don't have the patience that you got. You got a story to tell. You got a heart for those ladies. You have a burden for that. That's your key. Now, your key is not just to lead that group, it's to multiply that group, to create an entire ministry of life groups that aren't just one life group. I'm talking citywide Daughters of Destiny all around the city. Why? Because Lena took the key that I gave her and she said, I'm going to steward this one thing and this one thing really, really, really well. This is a key to Hank, this is a key to greeting and welcoming and being on the safety team and leading one of the best life groups we got. You got the key. You got the key to the nursery. The kids in the nursery, they're like, you got the key. You got the key. I'm not giving you all the keys. I'm just giving you some of the keys. Melody, I'm giving you the key to make the next steps hospitality environment excellent. Because if I were to cook for those people, they would never come back to church. I'm giving you the key. Kirk, I'm giving you the key to Destiny University. I don't want that key anymore. Only you can unlock that door. Only you can unlock that door. Now, I don't know what it is that you're called to do, but it is my job not to hoard it from you. The church will not grow if I keep the keys. The church will not grow if you keep too many keys. I've met some of you, and you guys have a resume longer than mine here at the church. And I wonder why your area of the ministry aren't growing. It's because you haven't given out keys yourself to those underneath you. Only one key per person. I only preach. I lead leaders. And I only do one thing on Sunday mornings. I work out, take a shower, come out here, and I preach the gospel. I'm not worried about whether or not the chairs are straight. I'm not running the sound. I'm not passing the buckets. Why? I don't have a key to that. If you don't have key to it, you don't have access to it. If you don't have access to it, you can't have influence over it. I only got the key of preaching. That's all I got on Sunday mornings. So audit your current situation and say, am I holding a key at all? Or am I holding too many keys? Chances are you're not in the sweet spot yet to where you're holding one key and one key only. But I would venture to say your job as a team or as a leader is to take a bag full of keys and to start giving them away. It requires trust. It's not fun seeing someone fail because they just had to try it once. The first time you do something is never the best time. You would not come back if we only did what we did on our first Sunday at this church over and over again. It was the worst service we've ever had. There was a few in there that came close, but You have to be able to trust somebody and say, you know what, I trust you to take this. I'm going to trust you with this key. Bring it back to me, I'll give it back to you. Bring it back to me, I'm going to let you know how you did, but this is your key. I wonder if there's just not enough influence happening in this room and if we're all relying on too few people to get the ministry done. Wherever the clog is in the keys, wherever the jingle is, I don't want to hear no jingling. There's only a jingle when there's multiple keys. There's no jingle when there's a single key. Laser focused, one door to open and one mission to accomplish. My mission is who am I going to give this key to? Your mission should be that also. The one with an empty hand always gets handed more keys. Don't hoard the key.